Jai Hind, my dear students. Today we are going to watch this remedial video lesson on accountancy first periodic exam. You have to watch the entire video and you have to please note the question and answers and clarify your doubts regarding the 30 different objective type questions which include the different patterns like MCQs, assertion reasoning questions, analytical questions, case-based and resource-based questions in accountancy from various chapters of part B. Let us start with the first question. The assertion reasoning question. Comparative statement indicates trend and helps in forecasting. On assertion. And what is the reason? Comparative statement gives information about the changes affecting financial position and performance of an enterprise for 2 or more years. So, you know very well what is the use of comparative statement, and the explanation given, the assertion and the reason are correct. So, we can choose the answer A. Both assertion and the reason are correct. For more explanation, you please read the textbook area related to the preparation of comparative statement. Second question, comparison of each component or item of financial statements for 2 or more accounting period prepared of a firm in the form of showing financial data is known as. Here also they are explaining regarding the preparation of statements of financial analysis. And the answer you can choose B. Comparative statement is explained here, and it is very clear the first word itself mentioning regarding the comparison of 2 or more accounting periods performance. Please choose the answer B. And third question, a reserve capital is a part of dash. You know very well the meaning of the term issued capital, authorized capital, subscribed capital and carved up capital. So, the reserve capital, it is a part of the subscribed capital which will be called back by the company when they need emergency funds. So, the answer is C. It is a part of subscribed capital. And fourth question, the current ratio is 2:1. Current assets are 82,000. What is current liability? You have to remember what is the equation for calculating the value of current ratio. You know, current asset divided by current liability. Using that equation, you can find out it. Current asset divided by current liability is equal to 2. Then you can find out the amount using the values. Through the cross multiplication, you will get the answer A. 41,000 will be the answer A. Then moving to the next one, two statements are here. One is what? Comparison of values of two firms involving same accounting period is called inter-firm comparison. That is right. Intra-firm comparison means comparison of 2 or more departments or divisions of the same business with the objective of meaningful analysis. Both the statements are right. So we can come into the conclusion that what? The answer both the statements means what? The statement 1 is correct and the statement 2 is incorrect, because intra-firm comparison means the comparison of 2 different firms, isn't it? Not the comparison of 2 different departments. So we can come into the conclusion. Answer is A. Sixth question. While preparing common size balance sheet, each item of balance sheet is expressed as percentage of dash. Each item of balance sheet is expressed as the percentage of total, maybe the total of assets or total of liability. D is the answer. A and E share capital of a company consists of 70,000 shares of rupees 10 each, rupees 8 called up. All the shareholders have duly paid the called up amount. Share capital will be shown as dash. Options are subscribed and fully paid up, subscribed but not yet fully paid up, either A or B, neither A or A nor B. So what is your answer? We can bring, because it is not fully called up, isn't it? So fully called up, or we can say what? It is not fully paid up also. So the answer is subscribed but not yet fully paid up. D is the answer. Moving to the 8th question. Please read it carefully. Interest accrued on investment is shown in company's balance sheet under the main heading. Which main heading it is shown? Interest accrued on investment. It will come under current asset. Answer is B. Current asset is the answer. 9th question. Debt equity ratio. Debt equity ratio measures the relationship between long-term debt and equity. A low debt equity ratio reflects more security. A high ratio is considerably risky as it may put the firm into difficulty in meeting its obligation to outsiders. Both assertion and reasons are right. You can get more clarification from the textbook. You have to remember the explanation. And what is the answer? A is the answer. Both the assertion and reason are correct. Another question. Assertion is what? Purchase of goods will increase the cost of revenue from operation. That is very right. While calculating cost of revenue from operation, purchase of goods will be added with other direct expenses and opening stock. I think both are A and R are true. R is the correct explanation of A. So that is the correct explanation. So my dear students, the answer is A. Both A and R are true. Assertion and reason are true. And we can give R is the right explanation or correct explanation of A. And moving to the next one, 11th question. A and E calculate proprietary ratio. If share capital rupees 5 lakh, reserve and surplus 2 lakh, general reserve amount 1 lakh, and total asset 21 lakh, then what is the value of proprietary ratio? You know very well the proprietary ratio equation. We need the proprietor's fund and the value of total asset. Using the amount available here, you can take what is the total amount of proprietor's fund. While calculating the proprietor's fund, add a 5 lakh plus reserve and surplus. No need to take the general reserve, because general reserve is already available in the total amount of reserve and surplus. So you have to consider 7 lakh divided by 21 lakh, and the answer it will be first one, A, 0.33:1. Two statements are here. Suppliers of long-term funds are concerned with the firm's long-term solvency. Investors are interested about the credit worthiness of the firm. We can say what? Suppliers of the long-term funds are concerned with the long-term solvency. That is the right one. Investors are interested about the credit worthiness of the firm. Which answer we can choose? Investors are interested about the credit worthiness of the firm. Both the statements are right, isn't it? Investors, as an interested party, they want to know the credit worthiness of the firm, right? If cash sales is rupees 2 lakh and credit sales is 20% of total sales, calculate the amount of credit sales. Calculate the amount of credit sales. What is the amount? Amount will be 50,000. How we can calculate the amount of credit sales? It's very clear. Cash sales is given 2 lakh. Credit sales is 20% of total sales. So definitely 20 plus that 100, it will be the amount, means the total sales. We have to use the equation, the multiplication of the percentage with the 2 lakh. We will get the answer 50,000. Statement 1 is interest coverage ratio. It reveals the number of times interest on long-term debt is covered by the profit available for interest. Statement 2, higher ratio ensures safety of interest on debts. No, that is wrong. So interest coverage ratio, it reveals the number of times interest we are taking to pay the long-term interest on long-term debt. So statement 1 is right, but the statement 2 is wrong. So answer we can find out A is the right answer. Statement 1 is right, statement 2 is incorrect. Parties interested in financial analysis are investors, government, financial institution, all of the above. All of the above is the right answer. Lot of interested parties are there. So D is the right answer. 16th question. Comparative statements are known as dash. Either dynamic analysis, horizontal analysis, vertical analysis, external analysis. Answer is B, horizontal analysis. Common size statement shows the vertical analysis. 17th question. The most commonly used tool of financial analysis are horizontal analysis, vertical analysis, ratio analysis. All these things are there. So answer is D, all the above. The dash is useful in evaluating credit and collection policies. Average collection period related to the activity or turnover ratio. It will help you to find out the average collection period. So answer is C. 19th question. The dash ratios provide the information critical to the long run operation of the firm. You know very well, every time solvency ratios are helping to find out the ability of the firm to continue for a long period. So C is the right answer, solvency. Dash are especially interested in the average payment period since it provides them with a sense of the bill paying pattern of the firm. Average payment period. So it's very clear, lenders are or suppliers are especially interested in the average payment period. C is the answer, lenders and suppliers. After this, from 21 to 25 questions you have to answer after reading the above paragraph. First of all, please read the paragraph carefully. Financial statements are the end products of accounting process which reveal the financial results of a specified period and financial position as on a particular date. They are the general purpose financial statements prepared and published by every balance sheet. The basic objective of these statements is to provide information required for decision making by the management as well as other outsiders who are interested in the affairs of the undertaking. The chronologically recorded facts and events expressed in monetary terms for a defined period of time are the basis for the preparation of periodical financial statements which reveal the financial position as on a date and the financial results obtained during a period. Under balance sheet, all the items with its monetary value arranged under different headings, which will help for financial analysis also. So, nothing else, it is regarding the detailed explanation of the concept of financial statement analysis. So, we have to read the sub questions from 21 to 25. Identify the heading under which the item revaluation reserve will come. You know very well the heading. Four headings are here: non-current liability, shareholders fund, equity. You know, non-current liability is a subheading, equity is the major heading. Under that, the heading comes shareholders fund. Reserve and surplus also a subheading which will come in the shareholders fund. So we can say B is the answer under which we are mentioning the revaluation reserve. Assertion is there, money received against the share warrant is to be disclosed as a separate item under shareholders fund. That is right. Assertion is right. Share warrant issued by a company gives the warrant holder a right to subscribe equity shares of a company at a predetermined price on or after a predetermined time period. Both assertion and reasoning are right. That means after the maturity time we can convert the share warrant into equity shares. So answer is A. Both the assertion and the reason are correct. Then 23rd question. Statement 1 is there. Financial statements show both qualitative and quantitative information. Statement 2 is what? Financial statements don't show qualitative information. So what we can say? Whether the answer is right or not. Answer you can find out D is the right answer because the statement 2 is correct, but the statement 1 is incorrect. Every time the financial statements, they never show the qualitative information. They will show only quantitative information, which can be measured in terms of money. So answer is B. And 24th question, 12% debentures in a company balance sheet is shown under the subheading. You know very well, it is a major source of long-term borrowings of the company. C is the answer, long-term borrowings. Schedule 3 has prescribed format for the presentation of balance sheet in which way? You know very well, Schedule 3 as per the Companies Act of 2013, Schedule 3 which will help you to prepare the balance sheet in a form of vertical statement. B is the answer, vertical. So that's all, and from 26 to 30 you have to calculate some values to give the answer for the questions from 26 to 30. Please read the amounts and items. First question, earning capacity of a company is ascertained by which ratio? Whether it is solvency ratios, profitability ratios, or the liquidity ratios or working capital ratio. It is you very well from the question itself, that statement shows earning. So profitability ratios will help the firm to analyze their earning capacity. B is the right answer. 27th, the value of gross profit ratio is in this question. What is your answer? Whether it is 50%, 100%, 45% or 75%. 50% is the right answer. A is the right answer. 28th question, the value of asset test ratio is dash. You know very well what is asset test ratio or quick ratio. And the answer is 1.12:1. A is the right answer. 29th question, if you calculate the value of working capital from the above data, it will be dash. What is the value of working capital? How we can find out? Current asset minus current liability is the equation you have to use. So C is the answer, 20,000. Last question. Statement 1. If the value of trade receivable increases to 35,000, current ratio will increase. That is right. If the value of inventory increases, the asset ratio will decrease. That is incorrect. Value of inventory increases, the asset ratio will decrease, because it is a wrong statement, because there is no relation between, when we calculate the asset test ratio or quick ratio, we are not considering the value of inventory. There will be no change. And what is the answer? Statement 1 is correct, but the statement 2 is incorrect is the answer. A is the answer. So my dear students, please watch the video in full to get the maximum clarification regarding these type of problems, and please write the question once and the answer to get hands-on experience. Thank you for your patient listening. Have a nice day. Bye.